What if one of the most well-known drugs on the planet, a drug 40 million men have used for erectile dysfunction, turned out to have nothing to do with what it was invented for? That's exactly what one cancer researcher in Israel just stumbled onto. And no, this isn't a wellness influencer myth. It's peer-reviewed science, published this year in the journal Cancer Research. Meet the scientist. Her name is Professor Ayelet Erez. She's not a supplement salesperson or a biohacker. She's a practicing physician and the dean of the medical school at the Weizmann Institute of Science in Israel, one of the world's top research institutions. She spent 2 decades treating cancer patients and studying how tumors work at a molecular level. And she says even she didn't expect the answer to show up in a drug, best known for something completely unrelated to cancer. It started in the lab, with mice. Erez's team, led by researcher Dr. Yarden Aryav, was studying how cancer cells spread through the body, a process called metastases. Metastasis is actually what makes cancer deadly in most cases. It's not usually the original tumor that kills people, it's when cancer cells break off, travel, and set up shop in other organs. To do that traveling, cancer cells need cholesterol. It's a building block they use to survive the journey and invade new tissue. Here's where it gets interesting. When the researchers gave mice sildenafil Viagra's active ingredient, the drug interfered with an enzyme called PDE5. Blocking that enzyme raises the level of a signaling molecule called cGMP. Normally, this is exactly what widens blood vessels and produces the drug's, well, famous effect. But it turns out cGMP does something else too. It binds to a protein that normally shuttles cholesterol around inside a cell. With that protein occupied, less cholesterol becomes available. And cancer cells, especially aggressive ones like triple-negative breast cancer, melanoma, and lung cancer, seem to be unusually dependent on that cholesterol supply to spread. Starve that pathway, and the cancer struggles to metastasize. In the mice, the cancer's ability to spread was significantly reduced. Testing it on real people. The result in mice is interesting. It is not proof it works in humans. So Erez did something smart. Instead of waiting years for a brand new clinical trial, she went looking for people who were, essentially, already running the experiment, men who'd been taking Viagra for erectile dysfunction, and who also happened to develop cancer. She partnered with Ayelet, Israel's largest healthcare provider, and pulled 20 years of anonymized health records for about 5 million people. Working with epidemiologists and researchers from the U.S. National Cancer Institute, her team compared cancer patients who had been taking sildenafil to those who hadn't. The pattern held up. Patients who'd been on sildenafil tended to survive longer with their cancer, and the effect was even stronger in patients who were also taking statins, the common cholesterol-lowering drugs which fits perfectly with the cholesterol mechanism they found in the lab. It's a rare case where the real-world data and the lab data are telling the exact same story. Now, before anyone rushes to their medicine cabinet, let's be really clear about what this is and isn't. This is not a proven cancer treatment. This is not a green light to start taking Viagra if you have cancer. What the researchers found is a correlation in existing patient records, backed up by a plausible biological mechanism in mice and in human cancer cells grown in a lab. That's genuinely exciting groundwork, but it's not the same as a clinical trial proving the drug treats cancer in people. Erez herself has been careful about this. Her team's next step is an actual clinical trial specifically looking at giving sildenafil to women with triple-negative breast cancer, one of the hardest cancers to treat. That trial is what will tell us whether this holds up as real medicine, at what dose, and for whom. So if you, or someone you love, has cancer, talk to your oncologist before changing anything about your medications. Don't self-prescribe based on a YouTube video, including this one. Why this matters anyway. Here's what makes this bigger than one drug, though. Erez has pointed out that cancer isn't just about the mutations inside a tumor. It's shaped by a patient's whole metabolic state, what medications they're already on, their cholesterol levels, even drugs they're taking for completely unrelated reasons. That's a meaningful shift in how we think about treatment. It suggests the answer to a hard problem isn't always a brand new, exotic drug that costs a fortune to develop. Sometimes it's sitting in a medicine cabinet, approved decades ago, dirt cheap, and already known to be extremely safe, just never tested against this particular problem. Sildenafil has been prescribed for nearly 30 years. We already understand its safety profile in enormous detail. If a clinical trial confirms this effect, it could become one of the fastest, cheapest additions to cancer care in recent memory, not because it's a miracle pill, but because all the unglamorous safety testing was already done. So no, Viagra isn't a cancer cure, and nobody involved in this research is claiming that. But it's a genuinely striking reminder that the human body is one connected system, and sometimes a drug built for one purpose is quietly doing something else entirely, hiding in plain sight for decades. The clinical trial is still ahead of us. Until then, this is a lead worth watching, not a treatment worth trying on your own. If you found this as fascinating as I did, subscribe for more stories like this, because the next unexpected medical discovery might be sitting in your medicine cabinet too.